This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social. I'm delighted to be joined by the Jackal, Carl Frampton. We're at Windsor Park in Belfast at the Carl Frampton Luke Jackson press conference. Bit of a dream come true, this, Carl.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. It's something I've been thinking about for a pretty long time. So I finally, I've been here watching Northern Ireland as a fan, and I've pictured what it's going to be like from the stand, but to be on the pitch and imagine a ring and seats on the pitch, it's going to be a special atmosphere.
Tell me about the first time you ever thought about fighting at Windsor Park.
People were talking about it, dreaming about it since I was a kid. I wasn't dreaming about it since I was a kid because it was something I never thought I could have done. But when you start winning world titles and you start selling out the Odyssey and it starts to get mentioned, you start to believe it. So it was a few years ago, but I've wanted it. Ever since I thought about it, I've wanted it to happen. I thought for a while or last year it may not have, but credit to the team, Frank, MTK and BT and the IFA as well, for getting together, and it's happening.
Now the fight that's long been mooted, or that you've spoken about in the past that you wanted to be here, is Leo Santa Cruz, for obvious reasons, him just fighting recently and one or two other things. That's not happened. What can you tell us about Luke Jackson as an opponent?
He's a good fighter, he's undefeated, he's a former Olympian, he's highly ranked with WBO number 5 I think, so yeah, he's a good fighter, but he's coming here to cause an upset. He said it won't be an upset because he thinks he's better on me, but if Luke Jackson beat me, it would be a massive upset, but he's not going to. I believe that I'm better in every department. I believe that he's made for me. I believe that this arena deserves a good performance from me, and I think I'll put on one.
Is there a little bit of you that wishes it was Leo?
Yeah, of course, but I'm the only one out of the pair of me and Leo Santa Cruz that seems to want that fight at this point in time. So hopefully I can force him into fighting it if I beat Luke Jackson, and then maybe Warrington or Valdez before the end of the year, and go into the new year with a title. Then you're talking about unifying a division. It may seem more feasible than the Leo Santa Cruz.
Just want to pick up on something that you said in the press conference. You had your fight with Alejandro Gonzales, rest in peace, earlier on in your career. By your own admission, sort of took that a little bit lightly, or maybe didn't prepare or approach the fight as you should have. Has that experience forced you not to take your eye off somebody like Luke Jackson, who is very much an unheralded opponent?
Yeah, I've learned a lot from that fight, and again, that was the first round. Clearly, quickly got the thoughts out of my head that was going to be an easy night, but that was a fight that, and a fighter that I took for granted. Shouldn't have done it, but you learn as you go along, and I think it was an important night and an important fight and part of my career. I think off the back of it, a lot of fights came. The Quig fight, for example, because people seen vulnerabilities, and I think that's a night that I'll remember. But I've learned a lot from it, and I'll not be taking my eye off Luke Jackson for a second.
The third fight in the space of a year. How does it feel to have that kind of activity after not being as active as you certainly wanted to last year? How important is that for you as a fighter?
Huge, and I'm hoping to get another fight in before the end of the year. So I'm more active now. You'd have to probably go back to 2012 to see me as active as this. So again, credit to the team and everyone involved. But this is what I want to be. I want to be an active fighter. I'm a professional boxer. I need to be as active as I am now.
Your first fight against Garcia, I think by your own admission, you didn't put in the best performance of your career. Your last fight out against Nonito saw a marked improvement. How much of that was just activity, fighting twice, and how much of that is your relationship with Jamie Moore?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think the relationship with Jamie Moore is probably a little bit more to do with it. I think that he's a fantastic coach. He knows the game inside out. I listen to him. I take his advice on board, and the Garcia fight was a short camp. It was, I think, about 6 or 7 weeks. We were only getting to know each other. I'm a guy who's normally used to 12-week camps, and when I had a 12-week camp against Nonito, you've seen the performance I can put in. So, yeah, it's. I think Jamie is a fantastic coach, and I think at this stage of my career, he's the right man for me.
Been staying in touch with Nonito. I saw you exchange some nice messages on Twitter.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, and I think we will keep in touch. I thought it was all a wee bit fake before the fight, but it's not. He's just a genuinely nice guy. We'll have a fight, and we shake hands after it, and best man wins, and you move on. And I'm hearing reports he may go into the Super Series. I'm hoping he does, because he'd be a danger to anyone.
Do you think the weight cut could affect that, going down to bantamweight after fighting at featherweight?
Yeah, it might. I think he could do super bantam easily, no doubt in my mind. Bantamweight, he could probably still do it, but it'll not be easy for him.
Okay, and just finally, Carl, because I know you're desperate to get off and train, what message have you got for your adoring fan base? 20,000 Northern Irish fans, or fans from all over the world, I guess, packed in to watch you fight Luke Jackson on August the 18th.
Just be here. It's going to be a night to remember. Atmosphere in Windsor is always special. Potentially you're going to have a bigger crowd here than there's ever before because of the seats on the pitch. We're making memories, you know. It's going to be a good one, so make sure you get a ticket and enjoy yourself.
Okay, well, Carl Frampton, thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. You can go and train now. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, Carl.
All right.